Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here in Sacramento. Javier Becerra, Attorney General for the great state of California. I'm joined by Chief Daniel Hahn of the Sacramento Police Department. I'll let him introduce some of the folks that are with him. I want to also recognize the Chief of the Division of Law Enforcement for the Department of Justice, Chief Kevin Gardner, who's with me here as well. Together, we are here to make a very important announcement about another effort to help us when it comes to crime fighting. So we're pleased that you're here with us today. This particular case strikes very close to home to those of us from the Department of Justice. Oftentimes we go out and work with our partners in local law enforcement to try to prevent crime, pursue those who have committed crime, and ultimately prosecute and convict and bring folks to justice so that California families can feel that they are secure in their state. And today, it's not much different except that we're going to talk about a case that happened quite some time ago. And it happened to the Department of Justice family. And so we're here to talk about a case that is near and dear to many people who have served in the California Department of Justice for some time. We're going to be calling on the help of the public in this particular case. We're going to talk to you about the Jacobs family in a moment, but I want to make sure I convey early on that the purpose of this press conference is to solicit your help. We want to solve a crime. We want to bring a murderer to justice, and we want to bring peace to the family and loved ones and the friends of the Jacobs family once and for all, if we can. Marcy Jacobs was a friend and colleague of many of the people here in the Department of Justice. She served in this department here in Sacramento. Like all of us, she worked very hard to build a life for herself and her family. Day after day, Marcy went to work as a staff service analyst here at the Sacramento office of the California Department of Justice, serving the people of our great state. Her husband, Michael, and we have photos of the two of them here. Her husband, Michael, went to work as a carpenter, near and dear to my heart because my father was a construction worker most of his life. Their 9-year-old daughter, Jenny, went to school locally here as well, Crocker Riverside Elementary School in the Land Park area of Sacramento. They couldn't know, and their loved ones, and certainly her colleagues here in the Department of Justice could not have known that their lives would soon tragically end. More than 20 years ago, in fact, closer to 30 years ago, 1991, January 14th, 1991, the whole family was murdered in cold blood in their home in Land Park. As I said, nearly 30 years have now gone by since this horrific crime was committed, and we believe the killers are still out there. We've continued to search for those who perpetrated these crimes, but today we're asking you for your help in helping us solve this case that is almost 30 years old. And we want to offer a $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and prosecution of those responsible for Marcy and her family's murder. We ask that anyone who may have knowledge about this case come forward. We would ask you to contact the Sacramento Police Department, and certainly Chief Hahn is here and can give you more details, but I think we want to repeat this phone number often. The number for the Sac PD, 916-264-5471. We won't rest until we're able to bring justice to a former friend and colleague of the California Department of Justice. We're asking for your assistance on behalf of those who loved, knew Marcy, Michael, and Jenny Jacobs. And I think it's only fitting to also mentioned that Marcy was actually in the process of training to actually try to begin doing crime scene investigation work before her life was taken so horrifically. We're hoping you'll help. We believe we can solve this crime. And we think with the recent revelations of the Golden State murderer, the killer, and others that we've been able to track down after long periods of inaction, that perhaps in this particular case, the Jacobs family will finally get to rest in peace. So we're asking the public, please help us in solving this particular crime. With that, let me now turn to Sacramento Police Department Chief Daniel Hahn.
Thank you. Appreciate all of you being here, and thank you, Mr. Attorney General. Not only is this office, we appreciate this office hosting this event today, but also helping us solve major crimes in our state, and this is near and dear to the Department of Justice's heart, as the Attorney General mentioned, because it involves one of their employees. So over the years, this case has been very challenging for multiple investigators. I'd like to introduce one right now that's leading this case and has for many years, Detective Pat Higgins. Although it has been over 25 years since this crime took place, we are committed to finding the persons responsible that committed this crime. Due to forensic advances and detectives working with the California Department of Justice, we continue to actively work this case. Our investigators, along with the investigators from all sorts of different agencies, have worked this for a very long time and will continue to work it until we solve it. And we are hoping with the passage of time and also a significant reward of $50,000, someone with more information, additional information, no matter how small or large, will come forward and help solve this crime, as we've seen in many other crimes in our community. With the help of the community, we look forward to identifying the responsible for all of this. I don't think it should go unnoticed that this is a horrific crime that took the lives of Mr. and Mrs. Jacobs and also their 9-year-old daughter, Jennifer, who, as the Attorney General mentioned, went to Crocker Riverside, right in our community, same school I went to. And I think them and their family deserve the justice of finding who's responsible for taking 3 of their loved ones. And I think also with cases like the Golden State Killer, recently, it shows us how, no matter how old a case might be, working together with community and evidence and forensics and good work by detectives and investigators, we can solve these cases even if they are decades old, and we believe wholeheartedly that we will do that on this case as well. So thank you for all being here, and with that, I'd like to turn it back over to the Attorney General.
Thank you. Before I open it up to questions, let me just say a couple of remarks in Spanish. Hoy estamos hablando de un caso que pasó hace muchos años, casi 30 años, en el año 1991. Una familia aquí de Sacramento, donde la esposa, Marcy Jacobs, trabajaba para este Departamento de Justicia. Fue matada junto con su esposo, y su hija, Jenny, murieron el 14 de enero 1991, matados por alguien. Y por estos 27 años no hemos podido encontrar los culpables. Pero hoy estamos anunciando que con una oportunidad de brindarle a alguien que tiene información $50,000 para que nos ayuden a capturar y juzgar los que hicieron esto, los culpables. Ojalá podamos tener más éxito. Tenemos la oportunidad de buscar los que son responsables de esta matanza. Y queremos por fin poder resolver este caso. Para la familia Jacobs, para todos los que los querían, y para el Departamento de Justicia, donde muchos de nuestros colegas conocieron a Marcy, conocían a la familia Jacobs y quieren ver la justicia para esta familia. Ojalá con la ayuda del pueblo podemos resolver este caso y pedimos su ayuda, y si logramos con esa información y ayuda poder juzgar los culpables, tenemos un premio de $50,000 para los que nos brindan esa información. Gracias. With that, we'll take any questions you have on this subject, and if you have other subjects you'd like to ask questions, I will see if we have time later on.